Anyway, let's talk about games. Last week we talked a little bit about the game formerly known as Gods and Monsters. Of course, we're talking about Immortals Fenyx Rising. Tico and I have been playing it. Ubisoft gave us review codes. You have it on Xbox Series X. I have it on PS5, and we've been playing it for the last week. I know I've been playing it way more than you because apparently I'm not as busy as you. But
Yeah, well, it happens.
I am about 20 hours into the game, and Tico, this game has easily eclipsed my interest in Assassin's Creed this year. It is that much fun.
It,
We talked
it
about
is
it last
Assassin's
week.
Creed, though. It's Assassin's Creed jammed with Breath of the Wild.
Yes, right. It is.
Like,
I mean, it doesn't have stealth per se. You can stealth
right.
hit one enemy if you sneak up on them, but that's it.
That's all you
Once
can do in the new. That's all you can do in the new Assassin's Creed, anyway.
you, yeah, you got a point there. That's so true. Listen, there's so much about this game I love, but really, what I do love about it is how many puzzles there are. Like, it's so chock full of true adventure and discovery and puzzle solving and just really looking at the environment and like, what can I do? What am I going to do next? You know?
Yeah.
And I am loving it. The powers you get, constantly upgrading your character. There's always that thirst for more resources to upgrade your health, to upgrade your stamina, upgrade your weapons and your armor. It's so much fun.
Well, that is the Zelda of it all. Like that
Right.
is like, like, hey, I want to get through that area. I need to find the bombs or the boomerang, or that's what this game is. Like, as you're upgrading your powers and stuff like that, that's what this is. It's allowing you to explore further, so you're
Right.
constantly looking for more opportunities.
Now, to be clear,
be
there's
able
no
to do-
bomb or boomerang in this game. You're referring
No.
to Breath of the Wild.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about like the powers or
Yeah.
godlike powers that you can get. It's the equatable
Right.
thing in order to be able to move through the world and do more exploring. And it is such an absolute. I just love the colors in the environment. It's so lush.
It's
if that's
very
the right word.
colorful, very detailed. Like, lots of detail, but extremely colorful. Like, to the sort of almost like a cross between a cartoon and Assassin's Creed, right? Because it's not
Yeah.
so colorful that it just looks like a cartoon, but it's very stylized and it's just gorgeous, very lush. Obviously, with the next gen graphics and the ray tracing of the lighting, it's just beautiful looking game. And I'm in awe of it. I've taken so many pictures. This is one of those games where I just want to share everything, Tico. You know, I was talking to you offline about the video I captured. I was constantly, oh man, that was awesome. Capture that video for Friday. Capture that. And it's like, by the time I was done, I'm not even kidding, I had probably 5 hours worth of captured footage that I then tried to put together into this 24-minute subset of what I did. And it's just like, everything was like, I want to show that and I want to show that, because the game is so chock full of, I just want to share this. Man, that was awesome. I just want to share this, right? And there's so many photos I've already shared to Twitter because of it. It's like, man, that's gorgeous. Just click and share. Yeah, the one of my favorite things is actually the Vaults of Tartaros, which are these
Yeah, those
amazing.
are so much fun.
They're literally puzzle vaults. That's all they are, puzzles. You can die. No, you can't die in a puzzle vault. You lose 1 health bar if you happen to fall too far, and it respawns you back to the last save platform inside the vault, and you just try again. But the vaults are all based around skill, and it's literally their skill and puzzles. Solving the puzzle within the vault. And I love them. They're scattered everywhere as well. That's part of the gameplay in this is closing all these vaults. But in order to close the vaults, you have to go in and solve it. And that's where you also, inside the vault, is where you get a piece of Zeus's lightning, which you then use to upgrade your stamina. And the longer your stamina, the longer you can fly, the longer you can fight,
Climb.
the more powers. Climbing uses stamina. Your godly powers uses stamina. So the more stamina you have, the longer, well, just like real life, the more stamina you have, the longer you last.
I have 0 stamina these days.
Oh my gosh, me too. That's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's so much fun. Even the puzzles that are difficult, like there's a few of them that are, a little tricky here and there that,
Yes.
require some good timing and stuff like that, at my advanced age, I just don't have anymore.
Well,
But
I know which one you're talking about, and I struggled with it for a long time. It was one of those definitions of insanity where you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, that's what I was doing because I thought I just wasn't fast enough. It turns out I was plenty fast, Tico. I was going the wrong way. I mean, it's not obvious, but once I figured out, oh my gosh, I don't need to go up and around. I need to just jump over here and do what I need to do, which, and I don't want to spoil what it is, but it actually has to do with that little ball there that you just saw me rolling. A previous one in the puzzle where it kept falling down. We had the same problem. We were trying to catch it,
same spot.
and it would fall. And it turns out we were going the long way around, and there was a shorter way to go to grab it before it fell. And once I figured that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel stupid now. But again, that's the puzzle aspect of everything. There is always a solution, and believe it or not, the solution is always right in front of you. You've just got to find it, right? You've got to analyze the scene and figure out what you need to do. And one of my favorite things in terms of weapons, and probably the weapon I use the most, is Ares. Is it Ares arrow? Ares bow.
Oh, yeah, the basically the steerable arrow.
Yes, it's a slow motion arrow that you can steer as long as you have stamina. Again, the more stamina you have, the further you can take that arrow. So as the arrow is flying, your stamina is moving down. So as long as you have stamina, and you can use potions. If you run out of stamina, use a potion while it's still flying, and it will keep going.
Yeah.
And I love those arrows. I will actually do whole battles from afar with those arrows. Like in the video right now, you're seeing a chasm, and I don't show it in the video, but I actually fight a bunch of guys from over here, and they're over there. Of course, they can't reach me, so I just keep shooting Ares arrows at them and hitting them.
Apollo. I think it's Apollo's arrow.
Oh, maybe it's Apollo's arrow. It could be. I keep shooting them, and I have the upgrade for it now that headshots explode. So I just hit them in the head, and it explodes, and anyone around them also gets explosion damage. So it's like, yeah, I'm just like, there's my area of attack, and I'm shooting from afar, just like any game I play a mage. That's what I want to do. I shoot everything from afar. But I'm finding the more I play, the more adept I am at the actual melee as well, like using all of the powers in combo and dodging at the right time. And if you do a perfect dodge,
get that slow motion.
Slow motion dodge. If you dodge at the right time, everything around you slows down, so you can get a lot of really good hits in on the enemy.
Yeah.
There's so much going on in this game, Tico. So much going on.
There's so much to do as well. It's just really, I'm just really enjoying it. It feels like sometimes I don't love the traversal as much. It's like to get from here all the way over here.
Well, that's why there's good fast travel points. I mean, there's not a ton of them, but they're spaced out enough where, oh, well, I need to get over there. Well, there's a fast travel a lot like closer to it, so I'll go there. Right. And what's nice about the fast travel points is they're usually spots that are up high, so you can just jump and fly, right? Or glide.
I don't
fly. You don't fly. You glide. because
glide.
you're always descending as you go.
Yeah.
But if you get the boost, I'm gonna, if you are just getting into the game, anyone playing, I highly recommend you get the boost for both for climbing. So you get your quick climb, your quick
Yeah.
swimming, and your quick glide, because you'll get further and use less stamina as you do it.
Yeah.
I love getting over what I need and then just making her fall. And she starts falling like, ah! And then I just,
Oh.
at the very last second, I open the wings again and she just goes, whoop, and lands perfectly.
So I do the dive. I just do the dive straight to the ground, and then she hits that little flutter move at the.
Yes, yes. I do that as well, but falling is actually faster than the glide straight down. I just let her fall. And then at the very last second, open the wings and she just gently hits the ground. It's so funny. Yeah, I could talk about this game for a long time.
Yeah,
Like,
they've done a very good job. This is an amazing Canadian
made in Quebec.
IP.
Yep.
Yep, Ubisoft Montreal. This is a brand new IP made in Canada in Ubisoft at Ubisoft Montreal. So it's really nice to see a big title, which looks like they are going to get some legs out of this franchise.
And well, that's the thing too. Like, I'm thinking, yeah, this game is fantastic. And do you think it'll be a franchise? Do you think there'll be like a Phoenix Rising 2 or an Immortals, some other subtitle?
I can see that happening because there's already talk of the DLC for this game being some of the other cultures' gods.
Oh,
So there's already when we're talking about the DLC that's coming. There's the Chinese gods that they're going to be adding into the game. So there's going to be, I don't know exactly how it's going to be portrayed, but not just the Greek gods in here.
that's interesting. Okay.
So
Like a different protagonist as well.
I think it is. I think it will be Phoenix. She will leave Olympus or wherever this is, and find her way
The Isle of the Gods. I don't even know where she is, to
in
be
the
honest
area
with
of
you.
the Chinese gods.
Well, that's interesting.
You're cutting it. Sorry, you cut out for me for a second there.
I said that's interesting. Everyone else heard me, Tico. It's just you.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to hear. I'm the one here sitting here having to converse with you, and if I can't hear you,
Well, maybe
then,
you should get better internet.
this is the best that they're willing to give me, Sean.
I know. It's
The
terrible.
best.
Yeah. How far are you in it? Like, it seems to be a very, very huge game as well. Like, I have completed one. So there's the starting island, and then you
Yeah.
move into Aphrodite's lair, or the Isle of Eternal Spring, or something like that. Which I spent a good like 15 hours on just the Aphrodite quest, which
Yeah,
is huge. It's huge.
Almost done that quest. Apparently, you mentioned that I'm almost done.
Yeah,
that particular quest.
But then there's also some side quests to do. There's clearing all the vaults. There's all the chests and loot.
Oh yeah, there's
Right?
so much
There's-
to do, and
There's all the puzzles. There's Apollo arrow puzzles. There's Achilles speed. Like, you have to get somewhere really, really fast. It's a speed trial.
yeah.
There's a whole bunch of different puzzles and trials to do.
Yeah, there's the lyre, the musical
The
ones.
musical one, yeah.
which is fun. You have to find a musical note and then memorize the thing, and then find the big lyre somewhere on the map, and then play that same tune.
Play the same tune.
Oh.
It's 4 strings. Just write down the numbers. 4,
Yeah.
3, 1, 2, or whatever plays. Write it down in a notebook, which is what I have. I have a note on my phone now for all the lyres in the game. So whenever I find a new lyre, I just write down the note for what region it's in. As soon as I find the big lyre, I replay the tune. Those are fun. I seriously, this game has very, very quickly become almost like Game of the Year material. It is that good.
It is really good. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the details on the DLC. So there's 3 pieces of DLC. The first one, a new god follows Phoenix as she's faced with taking Zeus's trial of the Olympians.
Okay.
Myths of the Eastern Realms will introduce a new hero named Ku.
Oh, a new
Uh,
hero, so not
a new hero,
Phoenix.
not Phoenix.
Okay.
And players will try new fighting styles with moves taken from Chinese martial arts.
Ooh, okay.
And finally, the Lost Gods will introduce a new playable hero with a human named Ash, which
Ash and
will
the isn't that from
Pokemon.
yeah, no, from the zombie movie. Isn't that Ash as well?
Oh, yeah, you're talking the Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ash players can learn Ash's new brawler system while they upgrade their character with new abilities and options. So that's
I am
pretty.
I'm not sure how I feel about DLC introducing a brand new hero all of a sudden, because you play hours and hours and hours with this character and you learn to love the character, you learn the powers and you
Play
gain
and the play
and
style
the
and
play
stuff
style,
like
and
that.
then they completely just say, well, here's a brand new character, learn it all again. You know?
It almost is like a new game. We've seen games do that. I think that an Assassin's Creed game has done that before, where they've given you like a different character to play
not
DLC as.
not a different character, but they have given you the worst one was for Assassin's Creed 3, where they basically, it was sort of like an alternate reality, alternate history. So Connor was no longer the Connor you knew. You had to relearn a whole bunch of new powers and new abilities.
There was one Black Flag gave you a piece
You
of the
got to
DLC.
play as Adewaldi. Adewaldi, yeah. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right. That was the freedom flag or freedom something, freedom
yeah,
cry. Yeah, you played as Adewaldi instead, which was who was the first mate on the ship.
right.
But yeah,
So
if you have not, like, this Immortals Fenyx Rising was one of those games, like Ghost of Tsushima before it, that as soon as I saw the trailer for it, I'm like, this is a game I'm gonna love.
yeah,
And this is
yeah.
not like, I did that with Horizon. I did it with Ghost of Tsushima. I did it with Immortals. As soon as I saw the game trailer for it, like a year before it was released, I'm like, this is a game for me. I need this game in my life. And I
Yep.
wasn't wrong. They did not disappoint. And in fact, this game has not just not disappointed, it has surprised at how good it is.
Yeah, and the timing I think is very well done for them. Like they got it out after Assassin's Creed, but before Cyberpunk.
Well, yeah,
So
that's just it, right? There's also all the timing of all these games.
yeah, like everybody's trying to like, okay, what are we gonna like? I was speaking with a friend. He's like, oh, Immortals might get delayed because nobody wants to be in the Cyberpunk release window. And I'm like, no, it's gone gold already. I don't think they're going to delay it at this point. And
No, and they
I'm
didn't.
very glad that they did not because, extreme amount of fun with this game right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If this game is not on your radar, it should be. Even if you wait, if for it to go on sale whenever, if that's what you need to do. Obviously, that's trying times for a lot of people, so not everybody can afford a brand new game.
Well, the
But
nice thing with Ubisoft titles is they do tend to be very active with sales of their content around the Boxing Week time.
yeah,
We often see the new titles on for $20-$30 off during that time frame. So
yeah, yeah,
keep an
for
eye
sure.
out for this one. It is absolutely worth getting, I think, at full price. But
Oh,
if you need the discount, you probably see at least a few bucks off Boxing Week.
no, I agree. Definitely do not, especially if you're a fan of the, open world adventures, the Zelda type. Let me tell you, the Zelda influences on this game are absolutely apparent,
Yeah,
right? Not only does it feel like you're playing Breath of the Wild, but there are audio cues that you swear are right out of Zelda. Like, just when you open a chest, you hear a little ding. It's just
yeah.
this little, all these little musical notes and little musical interludes that was like, that is absolutely Zelda. In fact, your bird, Phosphos, that you get early on in the game that helps you actually in battle, you can upgrade Phosphos to do attacks for you. depending on the bird you have, I can't remember what type of bird it is right now, and I'm going to fail in here again. It every now and again it does this weird little chirp that I swear is the little fairy from Zelda, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, I cannot believe how much the Zelda influences show through, because like we said, this is definitely a Zelda style game. It's a love letter to Zelda. It really is. You know,
Yeah.
the only difference from Breath of the Wild is this gives you quests. It's not just go and do whatever you want. There is
Yeah.
a story Zelda has a story, but it's like go figure it out is really what it comes down to in Zelda. Whereas in this, it's no, here's the quest, go and do this, then hand the quest in. You know,
I love the storytelling in this with Zeus and Prometheus. Just the humor
narrating. Yeah, they basically narrate the story.
Yeah, it's such a well done method of storytelling, in my opinion. It is a lot of fun.
So anyway, we could go on, and in fact we have gone on for quite a while. But that is Fenyx Rising. It is definitely in my top games this year. I cannot get enough of it. In fact, I'd rather be playing it right now. I was playing it until 5 minutes before we recorded. But that is Immortals Fenyx Rising, the game otherwise known as Gods and Monsters. So definitely check it out. And thank you to Ubisoft for providing the review keys for us for this, because I am ecstatic.
Yeah, very, very pleased.
Absolutely ecstatic for that.
Dedicated to her skill and judgment. Sites of ancient mystery and dangers untold.
Nice. What's the rent like in this neighborhood?